Look what we have here, the brand new Acura Integra.
Is this just Integra in name? Look at Andrea like a boss driving a manual, huh?
So fun,
You know,
so fun.
You know what? This car, so thank you Acura for this, has turned Andrea around a corner of maybe getting a manual.
I love it.
Because it's so easy to drive, because it's a Honda Civic, that it makes you comfortable driving manual, doesn't it?
Fantastic. I'm in love, in love.
All right, do you love what's under the hood? What is under the hood of the Integra?
A 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a standard CVT and an available 6-speed manual transmission on the top trim. 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive only, and Acura recommends premium fuel for this Integra. You can put regular in.
Well, the whole theme you're going to catch about this is this or the Civic Si that it's based on. So we'll get into the standard features of this, and then we're going to talk about the Si a little bit later. So what do you get with the Integra?
The base trim comes with a 10.2-inch digital driver display, a 7-inch touchscreen, Apple Carplay and Android Auto, leatherette upholstery, 8-way power driver seat, a manual passenger seat, heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, a moonroof, and a tire repair kit.
You've got all these drive modes, you've got sport, you've got individual. What are we going to put it in?
We're going to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put out another one on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also hit that bell, that's important. On Instagram, it's Motormouth_Andrea to get a sneak peek behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more.
This is a joy to drive. I just think it's fantastic with the 6-speed manual transmission. The shifts are smooth, it's engaging. The 6-speed manual comes with a rev-matching function and also limited slip differential. So this is pretty special.
This proves that Honda, Acura, is capable of still making fun cars for enthusiasts. That is true. My whole problem with this Integra is it doesn't live in a bubble. Like if you just drove this car, you would go, oh, it's great. It's got great power. It's got good mid-range torque now. They've improved that for this latest version of the 1.5 liter. It has an adaptive suspension, which is unique to this model. But you know what? It doesn't live in a vacuum. So all that stuff you mentioned, you can get that in a GLI. You can get that in a WRX. You can get it in a GTI. So, and you can get it in the Civic Si minus the adaptive suspension. It's really a wonderful product, but when you compare it to everything else, is it wonderful?
Well, this is it. But does the nameplate mean more to you? Does the Integra name mean something? To some, it does. For some people who own the Integra, they are happy to purchase another one. I don't know. You know what? I'm kind of falling for it.
Okay, so we have been talking about this a lot. Andrea's Camp Integra. I'm Camp Civic Si.
But only with the 6-speed manual. I'm not getting this with a CVT.
CVT in a luxury brand or a premium brand in a performance application is a big fail. So on the WRX, it comes with a CVT, but it's not a premium brand. And the other thing is the car that this replaces, the ILX, had a dual clutch and the old Si engine.
And the TLX has got a 10-speed automatic transmission. At least give it that. Hey, I think the WRX with a dual clutch would be better too, but at least you can get the 6-speed manual on the base trim.
Yeah, they make you buy the top version of this to get the manual transmission. Just go and get a Civic Si.
Hey, I reached out to Honda Canada, and they said that they think that most of their sales will be over 50% manual. And in the US, where they did pre-orders already of the Integra, they are over 65% manual. Does that surprise you in a world where people are buying automatic transmissions?
Yeah, but once that honeymoon ends, like you fast forward 18 months and all those people got their manual Acuras, how big a market is this car? for the top spec only in manual transmission.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I mean, these are odd choices that they've made over at Acura. Anyway, type below, what do you think? Is this just a rebadged SI?
Yeah.
Are you Camp Andrea with Integra, or are you more in my camp?
Now, what about the looks of this thing? Look, I have to say that this looks like an Acura model, you know, combine the TLX and maybe the ILX. Should they have done more with the Integra nameplate and created something totally different? Maybe, but I still think that this is a really pretty car.
I'm not sure if they're done with this. It's going to be interesting if they actually come out with a Type R version.
Type S?
Well, Type S for sure, but
Yeah.
the R was originally on the Integra. For me, I think the design for what is supposed to be a fun hot hatch is boring and staid.
I don't know. I like it. I really like this. I love the exterior looks. I like the jewel-eyed LED headlights, the black exterior trim. It comes with 17-inch standard wheels, but all other trims get 18-inch, which is like the Civic Si. It comes standard with 18-inch wheels.
There's something about the rear lights. They just don't look beefy to me. I don't know. There's something amiss about the back of this car that I don't like. Does sound good.
Oh, sounds great.
It's all about the transmission and how easy this is to operate. If you have somebody in your family that is learning and wants to learn, grab a Honda Civic or the Acura version of it.
Yeah.
So easy to learn to drive manual on these cars.
So let's get into the interior. We do have a question coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars, but this comes with a 7-inch touchscreen with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but our top trim comes with the 9-inch touchscreen with wireless, and I'm a big fan of wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
You know what also comes standard on this top trim, Andrea?
What?
The back seat from a 76 Plymouth with all that beautiful red vinyl. I have sat in cars with that color of vinyl seat as a kid.
I think my mom's Pinto with all the wood trim on the exterior also had that red interior.
Your mom had a Pinto with wood on the outside? That
did.
is sexy, man.
The only thing we had to worry about was somebody hitting us in the rear, because
we all know what happened
right?
with Pintos. Well, not all of us, but look it up. All right, the back seat of this is big. It is based on the Civic. We've been talking about that. Civic is a biggie. This one has lots of room in the compact class.
Front and rear legroom is the exact same in the Integra and the Civic, even though this Integra is longer than the Civic. It's the cargo space where this is the winner. It actually beats out the WRX, the GLI, and the Civic, getting 24.2 cubic feet compared to the Civic around 14 cubic feet.
The only problem with the cargo area in this is it's got a very high loading height.
Yeah.
Quite different than, say, a GTI, for example, a classic hatchback. This is a lift back, and they have all that structural part around the back of the car. So yeah, if you got to lift big things in and out, it's quite high. So it's not just me. You guys have a lot of questions about how does this compare to the SI. Let's get into it.
It's never ending.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Out of all the reviews I've watched already, this is the first time I've heard mention of premium fuel. Is the Elite package the same as the Tech package? Yes, the Elite package is in Canada and the Tech package is in the US, and they're both the top trim.
Yes, this is a higher performance car.
Yeah.
It's got a turbo engine with 200 horsepower, so you want to put premium gas in it. All cars that require premium fuel can run on regular.
Yeah.
Say you're in the middle of nowhere and there's a gas station, the only one forever around, and you have to put regular in, the car will run.
Yeah, the Honda Civic Si, Honda recommends premium fuel for it, but of course you can put regular in it. We have a viewer, follower, who just bought this Integra 2 weeks ago. I asked him, is he using premium or regular fuel? He says premium. He's also getting 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers, mostly highway driving. That is excellent fuel economy. I mean, that's like hybrid fuel economy.
That's the one thing to remember. So yes, it requires premium fuel. It's tuned for premium fuel, and you'll get better mileage. So maybe it all works out in the end anyway.
Please tell me it has a touch screen. It certainly does. No trackpad here.
Yeah. So you're thinking Acura products, the RDX and so on that have the trackpad. So this is, as we've been talking about, already based on a Honda Civic. The good news is Honda listened and brought the volume control back, which a lot of people complained about. We have a Civic without the volume knob. It's a pain in the ass. This is much better.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in the name of the channel, Motormouth, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, Acura, then all of our videos pop up. It's that easy.
What are your opinions on the literal Civic-like interior? I find it really disappointing to be charging Acura prices for a Honda interior.
Who is this person? They're speaking to me. This is exactly my thought on this car. I'm all about the SI, but you know what? They have made very slight changes. The big one is they put an applique over top of the honeycomb vents.
Yeah.
So that vent doesn't run across the entire dash. You get this gray thing on top of it.
Look, when the Civic came out, the brand new Civic, I want to just add one thing before I carry on with my thought. Honda has left their interiors for a long period of time. So when the new Civic came out, I was thinking to myself, wow, this looks absolutely amazing. What a wonderful job. Well, guess what? They've taken that Civic. We see the new HRV interior, the CRV interior. I'm sure the Honda Pilot will be like this too. And now we're moving it into Acura. So in a way, if it's successful, why not use it often?
Okay, so what you're saying is, I like the Civic interior, therefore using that in here is fine. I get that.
Yeah.
But I think that it's very similar. So the seats are different. You get cloth seats with red on the SI. You get the Alcantara here. Both of them get the cheesy Plymouth vinyl seats in the back. I can't believe that.
Which is a shame. Yeah, considering the price point of this Integra, I love this ultra-suede leatherette combo, but carry it through to the back, at least on the Integra top trim.
Yeah, you're talking about a premium brand.
Yes.
So you've got a CVT, and you've got vinyl seats in the back like a Plymouth from the 1970s.
And
even in that color.
Yeah, and you can only get the 6-speed manual on the top trim. I mean, what are the decisions that are made here? I just don't get it. I mean, here's the other thing. A CVT in a premium brand. We went through this with Infiniti. Why Acura? At least the TLX has a 10-speed automatic transmission. Put that in here. Or because it's an Integra and it's a really special nameplate, how about build a dual clutch transmission?
Well, they had one in the last Acura. It was called the ILX that had the old SI engine and a dual clutch. A fabulous car to drive. Terrible interior, but a fabulous car to drive. You know, they're still for sale, by the way. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Is the Integra worth the extra dollars over the SI? I'd rather buy a 2-liter Accord with the 10-speed than the Integra, or even a GTI for less. What do you think? Oh, sounds good. Oh, I really like this car.
The thing is, Honda knows what the hell they're doing. The manual transmission works so well. The clutch uptake is very light. Some might like it a little bit more precise like me. I think it's great for Andrea. But you know what? The problem I have with this car, and we've been talking a lot about it already, is I just don't think it's worth $8,000 more to get the Acura name. Essentially the same running gear. The biggest mechanical difference is this comes with the adaptive suspension.
Yeah.
They took it out of the Civic Si. I wonder why.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, for looks, exterior-wise to the Civic, I like this better. That's just my own personal preference, right?
This is a liftback. That's a sedan.
I like this better. But you are right. You know, the GTI, wow, what a great price point on that. Whether you get the dual clutch or you get the manual transmission, both are awesome on that vehicle. It's not as big as this. This is more comparable to the Volkswagen GLI, which you get the dual clutch and the manual on that on every trim.
So the GTI top trim, this is Canadian market because that's where we live, is under $40,000, around $39,000, I believe, off the top of my head.
Yep.
This one's $42,000. Hello, more power too than this thing.
So when it comes to features, in Canada, the SI is actually quite well equipped. So you might hum and haw about the difference in price point, but in the US, you get less features in the SI compared to the Integra. It's about a $7,000 price point difference. So in that case, you might say, gee, you know what? I'm gonna get the Integra in the US.
Really, you're missing the ELS stereo system on the inside,
Yeah.
and a few things like memory seats. I mean, that SI comes with power driver's seat. I'm sorry, I'm not spending $8,000 more to have an Acura beak on the front of this thing. I think the SI is a nice looking car.
Yeah.
It's got the same engine, it's got the same mechanicals. I'm down with that.
I get it. I get it. It's a lot of money for the 6-speed manual. I understand all that. But there is something about the Integra nameplate that gets me super excited.
It's marketing. You're being marketed to.
I'm being marketed. And you know what? I'm okay with it. It's like Ford coming out and using the Mustang name for the Mach-E, and also now Integra for the Acura, because those two go hand in hand.
Well, we've touched on some of the competition. Let's get into it. What else can you buy that are usually cheaper?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Civic Si with the same engine as the Integra, a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 6-speed manual transmission and 200 horsepower. It has a starting price of just under $34,000.
The Volkswagen Jetta GLI with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder and a 6-speed manual transmission or 7-speed dual clutch, 228 horsepower, and a starting price just under $32,000.
The Subaru WRX with a turbocharged 2.4-liter flat-4 engine, a standard 6-speed manual transmission or a CVT. It has 271 horsepower and a starting price of just under $31,000.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2021 BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe with just 5,500 kilometers on the clock for $49,990. Click on the tab or the link in the description below to find more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
So there are 4 fun cars for you to consider.
All right, let's get into it. The warranty, the fuel economy, and more with our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The base model starts at just over $34,000 Canadian and just under $31,000 in the US. Our top trim, whether you choose a 6-speed manual or a CVT, in Canada it will cost you $42,500 and in the US just under $36,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the CVT. 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.5 on the highway. That's 29 miles per gallon city, 36 miles per gallon highway. The manual, it's 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers city, 6.5 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon city, 36 miles per gallon highway. Acura offers a warranty of 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. In the U.S., complimentary scheduled maintenance is covered for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Lightning round. 2 things we like to see improved.
I love the way this handles.
I like the fact they brought a manual back to their base model Acura.
Speaking of manual, can we have it available on every trim?
And they could have really tried harder to make this unique over the Civic.
I'm Team Integra. I love this, especially with the 6-speed manual transmission.
I'm Team Civic Si. Save the money, pretty much the same car.
Who do you think's gonna get one? This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit CanadaDrives.ca to learn more.